you doing? Jared Hamilton with Hamilton Group at Cherry Creek Mortgage. Welcome to another edition of Java with Jared. That was Johnny Cash, and I'm going to be telling you what Johnny Cash and Ben Bernanke have in common in a second. That's why I was playing that Going to Jackson song to give you a little bit of clue. So I wanted to let you know what was going on with interest rates. I am doing this a little bit later. That's why I've got my iced coffee today, because it's really hot outside, and again, this is coming to you a little bit later in the day, and that's because I wanted to see what was going on with the speech with Ben Bernanke. So here's what's happening with interest rates first for the week. They finished better than when they started. We're seeing a pretty good rally today. Started out this week, we saw the Case-Shiller index come out. That showed an increase of property values of 0.5%, which was better than the expected negative 0.3%, and it was the first year-over-year increase in 21 months. So that was a really good sign. On Wednesday, we saw GDP come in. That showed an increase of 1.7% versus the expectations of 1.5%. So it was a little bit better than expected. Anything good for the economy could be good for interest rates. So you'd think better than expected, good for the economy, bad for interest rates. Not the case, because it's still low. Target is for 2% year over year, or 2% growth to GDP is what. So it's a little bit below the target. And because it was a little bit better, but a little bit below the target, everybody's still wondering about QE3, quantitative easing 3. And so really the whole week was about what was going on today, and that was with Ben Bernanke's speech up in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. So that's why I played the Johnny Cash song, I'm Going to Jackson. Ben Bernanke was up in Jackson. He started his speech at 10 o'clock today, and here's what he said. And everybody was looking to what Ben would say, and what the Fed's going to do is they're going to be more QE3. What he said is that the economic situation is far from satisfactory, so the Fed doesn't like what things look like. Unemployment at current levels is going to be still pretty high. It's going to be hard to change the unemployment numbers with what the economy is doing. And he did say that inflation is stable despite the ballooned balance sheet by the Fed, meaning that we've been buying so much stuff to try to keep rates low and help stimulate the economy. All that leads to still he's keeping the door open for QE3. No one knows what's going to happen. Most people think that the longer it is over the next month or two, might not happen until after the election. So many people are believing that it might be after the election, but it could be in September. After that, it's probably all bets are off or it probably won't happen. So, and what has happened, just keep in mind, what has happened over the last two quantitative easings is that rates improved up until the point that it was announced, and then rates got worse. Both stocks and bonds are improving. On today's news that the door is open still for QE3. He did not shut it. But when the last two QE announcements were announced, stocks continued to go up, and mortgage-backed securities, bonds, and interest rates deteriorated. So all's good for now. That's why the market is better. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Hope you have a wonderful end of the week. But that is what Ben Bernanke and Johnny Cash have in common.